There is information about demon threads. The threads which are executing at background to give support to the foreground threads is called demon threads, right? Good. The next one here, I would like to give sleep method, right? To stop the execution. We are using sleep method. The same way, now I would like to give the join method. What is the purpose of join method? So join method is also important. So the purpose of the join method here, I would like to, for example, T1 thread is there, T2 thread is there, T3 thread. How many threads are there? Assume 3 threads are there. I would like to stop the execution of T1 thread up to completion of T2 thread. So I would like to complete my task. I would like to stop my task until completion of what? Second thread. To stop one thread until completion of second thread. To stop T1 thread until completion of T2 thread, use the join method. So constantly in the project level, one program output depends on another data also, right? For example, I would like to complete some values. I would like to perform one task. To perform this task, I want some other task data result. To complete my task, I want some other data results. At a situation, I must stop my task until completion of the target one, right? So once the target one is produce the results, then once again start my execution. So to stop the current executing thread until completion of the target thread, then we are using which method here? Join method. For example, here I would like to use what? T1.join. So here I would like to use what? T2.join. When I call the T2.join, who is executing T2.join here? T1 is executing, right? T1 has to wait until completion of the T2. When I call the T2.join, T1, who is executing T2.join? I written this code inside the T1, right? So T1 has to wait until completion of the T2. For example, here in the T2 code, I written T3.join. Tell me, who is executing T3.join here? Who is executing T3.join here? T2, right? T2 has to wait until completion of what? T3. Until completion of what? T3. So clear. So don't think nothing T3.join. T3 has to wait. Don't think like that. Who is executing T3.join here? T2. So T2 has to wait until completion of which thread here? T3 thread. This information regarding what? Join method. One thread has to wait until completion of some other thread. Then use which method here? Join method. So the join method, I would like to give the join method example. So you can please check the join method practically. This is the last example regarding demon threads. So I copied demon threads also, right? In the multi-threading example. Demon threads also copied. Good. The next one is what? Join method. For example, this is my main thread. I would like to print the data. So 5 elements: system.out.println of. So system.out.println of. So here I would like to print I value. I value in the sense what? 0 to 10 is printed, right? Let me print the 5 times. 0 to 5 will be printed. Now this is the my thread. Then here I would like to write the main thread code. The thread which this is the main thread. In the main thread, let me create the object of my thread class. My thread t equal to what? New my thread of. My thread equal new my thread of t dot start method. Then what happened here? T1 thread will be executed. T thread will be executed, right? In the same way, let me create one more thread. Same functionality. I am creating 2 threads here. So T1.start and T2.start. This is my T1.start. So here let me write the T2.start also. Good. How many threads are running here? 2 threads. Total application contains how many threads here? Application contains 3 threads. One is the main thread, one is the T1, one is the T2. Total 3 threads application contains. Now tell me here I would like to write the main method logic. What the main method logic here? Int I equals 0, I less than 10. So here also 5 times I would like to print the data. So here I plus plus. Now here system.out.println of. Here can please print the data. What is the value here? I value I am printing here. Just I value I am printing. Good. Here me I value. So which thread is running? Can please call that thread here. How to get the current thread name here? How to get a current thread here? Threaded dot. Which thread is running? I would like to get the thread name. Threaded dot current thread of. So thread dot current thread of, I would like to use what? Get name method. Get name, so plus within the double quotes hyphen, so plus I value. So which thread is running? Thread 0, some value is printed. Thread 1 value, thread 2 value, thread 3 value. If you want execution, let me do the execution of that application, so we'll get some clarity. Java, see the application name is test.java. Thread dot current thread, spelling wrong, thread, current thread. So code is compiled fine. The Java class name is what? Thread demo is a class name, right? Thread demo is a class name. So can please check it. Direct data is printed immediately, right? 024 024 024. Your return condition I less than 5. So up to 4 is printed, right? Up to 4 is printed. Good. Now the data is printed immediately. To stop the execution sometime, I would like to use the sleep method. So always to get the more clarity, use the method. Which method here? Stop the execution. How to stop the execution here? Thread dot, method name is called what? Thread dot sleep method. So thread dot sleep method 1000 milliseconds. But sleep method throws interrupt exception, you know that point already. So here I return catch block. What is the exception name here? So interrupted exception. What is the exception name? Interrupted exception IE. So here to print the complete stack information, print stack trace method. Print stack trace method. So in the main method also the same code. So in the main method also I would like to stop the execution particular amount of time. So here this is my application. So this is my data regarding main thread, right? This is the main thread equal to. So check the example. While doing the practicals of multi-threading, to get the more clarity, I done modifications in the example. Always stop the execution, then we are able to get some idea. So always frequently I am using thread dot sleep method. In this example, you can please check it. Application contains 3 threads. Thread execution decided by thread scheduler. Thread scheduler is unexpected behavior. Unexpected behavior means what? Expected output, unexpected output here. Obviously unexpected output. If you want to check it. So all are printing 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is printed, right? Can please run one more time? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 up to 4 is printed, right? So can please decide thread execution here. First to main executed, thread 0, thread 1, main 0, 1. So like the thread will be executed here, right? But in this case, check the difference in output here. Thread 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1. Now in this case, check it here. Thread 0, 0. But here in this case, once again, what happened here? Main thread 0, 1. But in this case, main thread is not executing. Main thread after completion of this 2. So irregular output is printed, right? And irregular output. Good. But what is the purpose of join method? To stop the current executing thread until completion of the target thread, right? Good. Now here, T dot start. So T dot start. After starting the thread, then tell me here. I would like to use the join method. Here, let me call the T1 dot join method. T1 dot join method means tell me here. Who is executing T1 dot join here? I written this code inside the main method, right? Main thread, right? Who is executing this method? Who is executing this thread? Who is executing this line? So main thread is executing this line. Main thread executing this line, right? Whenever the main thread is executing this line, now tell me, main thread has to wait until completion of which thread? T1 thread. Now here, can please do the compilation. Code is compiled. It is throws the interrupt exception. So join method is also throws which exception here? Interrupt exception. That's the reason. Take this join method inside the try block. Join method inside the try block. The corresponding catch block. The catch block of interrupt exception, i.e. open brace, closure brace. We can use the throws keyword also, no problem. It is possible to use what? Throws keyword also. Catch interrupt exception, i.e. dot to print the complete stack information. Print the method name is called what? Stack trace. Print stack trace method. Compile it. Code is compiled. Here main has to wait until completion of thread is 0. T1 represents what? Thread is 0, right? T1 is my first thread. The default name of the main thread is main. The default name of the first thread is what? Thread is 0. It starts from thread 0, you know that point already. So Java, the class name is called what? Thread demo class. Class name is called thread demo class. Now check it. So here main has to wait until completion of T1 thread, right? Now check in this example. Now here, the data is printed irregular manner because, good. Here check it. I started T1 dot start, T2 dot start. Two threads are starting, right? So two threads are running. So main has to wait until completion of T1 thread. So main is waiting or not? So can please do this code in this place. Good. Now can please run this application once. Code is compiled, code is executed. Now check it. Which thread is running here? Thread 0 is running, right? So main thread has to wait until completion of what? Thread 0 or not? So main has to wait. So main means this everything is code is belongs to main only. Whenever this line is encountered T1.join, this code is not executed. Hey, whenever the T1.join is encountered, the remaining code is executed or not executed here? Not executed. The last example I placed this code in this one, in this place. Now what happened here? T2.start is also executing. These both lines are executed, right? These both lines are executed. The reason I call T.start, then I call join method. Then I called what? Join method. This is the purpose of join method. Whenever the T.join is encountered, this code is not executed. This main thread code has to wait until completion of what? This main thread code. Until completion of main thread. So do the compilation, code is compiled, code is executed, thread 0, thread 1, it's like thread 0 data, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then these two threads are executed regular. There is information regarding what? Your join method. And the join method you can pass the argument also. So here join method, when I call the join method, main has to wait until completion of target. Main has to wait. So concentrate. Here T.join of I call, right? I am not passing any argument. Whenever the main is executed T.join, main has to wait until completion of target. But my requirement here, Ratan, I call T.join. When I call the T.join, main thread has to wait until completion of target. But my main has to wait only 2 seconds. In the 2 seconds target thread is completed, execute it. If the target thread is not completed, destroy the thread. Here my requirement here, I would like to stop the execution of my main thread not until completion of target. Up to how many seconds here? 2 seconds. In 2 second gap, the target thread is executed, fine. If it is not executed, so leave it. So parallel execution once again. So to stop the current executing thread until completion of target thread means T.join of 0 argument. If you want to pass some argument, you can pass it. So I will stop the execution just 2 seconds. So 2 seconds means what? 2000 milliseconds. In this case, what happened here? When I call the T1.join, who is executing T1.join here? Main thread. Main thread has to wait how many seconds here? 2 seconds. Main thread has to wait 2 seconds. In the 2 seconds, T1 thread is completed, good. If it is not completed, irregular output. So check this example output here. The code is compiled, fine, code is executed. 2 seconds it will wait. Once the 2 seconds are completed, now irregular output, right? So there is two options. Option number 1, if main thread has to wait until completion of target thread means no arguments. It will wait until. No, Ratan, I would like to pass 2000 milliseconds is equal to 2 seconds. So here the main thread is wait how many seconds here? 2 seconds. In the 2 seconds the thread is completed, good. Not completed, irregular output. That is information about what? Your join method. Tell me any doubts regarding join method? This is example number 12 is completed. Example number 13 is. This is example number 13. What is example number 13 here? So join method is completed. So clear? The sleep method. to stop the particular amount of time. Join method to stop the execution until completion of target thread. Otherwise, some time slice also you are able to give. This is example number how much? Example number 13. Next one is the example number 14. Now in the example number 14, you will get the interrupted exception. Like interrupt exception, every time we are getting interrupt exception, right? I would like to interrupt the thread. My thread is running. Once my thread is running, I would like to interrupt the thread. To interrupt the thread, we are having one method. The method name is called interrupt method. By using interrupt method, it is possible to interrupt the thread. So concentrate. Generally, my friend is sleeping. My friend is sleeping mode, then I am able to interrupt. My friend is busy, otherwise my friend is talking with others. We are unable to disturb, right? My thread is running. My friend is busy, I am unable to interrupt. But concentrate, my friend is sleeping mode. Once my friend is sleeping mode, general scenario. Once my friend is sleeping mode, we are able to interrupt or not? Now the question here, whenever your thread is in the sleeping mode, then only this interrupt call will be worked out. Ratan, my thread is never entered into sleeping mode. If your thread is never entered into sleeping mode, that interrupt call will be wasted. No use. Concentrate. It is possible to interrupt the thread by using which method here? Interrupt method. It is possible to interrupt the thread by using interrupt method. But when the thread is interrupted, whenever the thread is entering into sleeping mode. If the thread is not entering into sleeping mode, the thread won't interrupt once again. If the thread is not entering into sleeping mode, the thread won't be interrupted. So the interrupt method call will be affected whenever your thread is entering into sleeping mode. If your thread is not entering into sleeping mode, your interrupt call will be wasted. That is the theory. For the theory, I will give the explanations. So theoretically, first of all, understand the concept, then I will do the practicals. While doing the practicals, I will do a lot of modifications. In that modifications, you are able to understand what is the point. Clear? As interrupt method call, I will do the interrupt method call example also. Everything is example. Corejava means everything is practical. So in the Corejava, don't expect any theoretical points, right? So this is my main thread. This is user defined thread, right? Sorry, the user defined thread. This is my user thread. This is user thread. User thread. This is my created my thread here. My thread t1 equal new my thread of. I call t1 dot start. When we call the t1 dot start, what happened here? Your thread will be executed. Your thread is executed. It's not a great example. Code is compiled. Code is executed. User thread is printed how many times here? 5 times user thread will be printed. But concentrate, I would like to interrupt the thread. To interrupt the thread, I use the method. What is the method name here? So interrupt method. Concentrate. In the thread class contains multiple number of methods. But in the classroom, we will discuss some methods. What about remaining methods, Ratan? Do the practicals, otherwise do the Google. First of all, every faculty, anyone, all the faculties are unable to discuss each and every point. We will discuss only some points. For example, the Java P, Java dot, lang dot, the class name is called what? Thread class. The thread class contains how many methods? These many number of methods. In the classroom, the faculties are unable to discuss each and every method. The faculties are giving basic idea regarding some methods. Once you are getting that idea, we are in a position to do the practicals of remaining methods. Concentrate here. I completed. Now I will complete interrupt method. isAlive is completed. Set priority, get priority is completed. Set name is completed, get name is completed. Active count is completed. So dump stack isDemo is completed. So toString is complete. Like almost all methods are completed, faculties. The remaining methods, we have to check it. How to check? So clear? Now here I would like to call interrupt method. So here I called interrupt method. User thread is interrupted or not interrupted. So can please check it, user thread is interrupted or not. Code is compiled, fine. Code is executed. Any interrupted here? The interrupt call method will be wasted. The interrupt call is wasted. When that interrupt call will be executed, tell me here. When the thread is interrupted here. Whenever your thread is entering into sleeping mode, right? Let me how to enter into the sleeping mode here. Thread dot obviously sleep method. I would like to enter into 1000 milliseconds. Equal to how many seconds here? 1 second. Whenever thread is enter into sleeping mode, other thread is able to interrupt. Now catch block. What is the exception here? Interrupted exception. Interrupt exception I. Now open brace, closure brace. So system dot out dot println off. So once the exception raised, the corresponding catch block will be executed, right? Here generally write the message. Whenever the thread interrupt call will be affected, thread is interrupted. Now concentrate. Whenever your thread is entering into sleeping mode, that interrupt call will be executed, right? Interrupt call will be affected. Once the interrupt call will be affected, now what happened here? The corresponding interrupted exception catch block will be executed or not? That is information. So if you want, can please do the compilation. Code is compiled. Can you please check it? Now your thread is interrupted or not? Now check it here. Thread is interrupted. So clear? Thread is interrupted. So like that. So multi-thread example I said one point. Don't expect exact output, right? That's the problem with the multi-thread examples. T1 dot interrupt method. The interrupt method call is be affected or not? So always it is present as second statement. Okay, thread is interrupted or not? So whenever the interruption is occurred, what happened? Corresponding catch block is executed. The corresponding catch block is executed, then code is executing normal. Remaining code is executed normally or not? The remaining part is executed normally. Yes or no? Whenever your thread is entering into sleeping mode, that interrupt call is executed. Whenever the interruption occurred, corresponding catch block is executing or not executing here. That is the information about what? Your interrupt method. Then once the interrupt is occurred, why the remaining code is also executed? Actually, whenever the interrupt is occurred, the interrupt catch block is executed or not? Whenever the catch block is executed, remaining code is executed normally or not? The remaining code is executed normally. So that is information about what? Your interrupt method call. Concentrate. When we call the method interrupt, when we call the interrupt method call, whenever your thread is entering into sleeping mode, your interrupt method will be affected. Now what happened here? Your thread is interrupted. Ratan, generally you are thinking thread is interrupted means Ratan, no output, program is terminated abnormally, right? But don't think like that. So because we handled exception, when we handle exception, what happened here? The corresponding block will be executed. Remaining code will be executed. There is information about your join method, sleep method, yield method just like a sleep method. Sleep method means we are able to specify particular amount of time. Yield method represents what? When we call the yield method, the thread is entering into sleeping mode, but you are unable to say exact time. So that time is decided by thread scheduler once again. So concentrate. Whenever we are calling thread data yield method, your thread is entering into sleeping mode, but we are unable to say exact time duration of that sleeping mode. Time duration of what? Your sleeping mode. Clear? There is information regarding what? Your interrupt method. So the last one I completed join method, then I started interrupt method. It's very, very important. Interrupted and join, yield, sleep, start method, run method. So there is information about that interrupt call will be worked out only when our target thread is entering to sleeping mode. So remember that point, don't forget that point. So anyhow, if you want these practicals and everything, can please send the request to my mail ID ratna5256@gmail.com. Then I will forward the soft copy to your mail ID. You can check that soft copy, right? Good. So there is information regarding your interrupt method call. The next example, the next point here. Total how many ways are there to create a thread in Java? How many ways are there? Generally I said 2 ways, right? What are the 2 ways here? extending thread class, implementing runnable interface, right? Two approaches are there. Up to now we discussed first approach only, but generally we are using first approach, and some situations second approach also recommended. Total how many approaches are there to create a thread here? Two approaches: extending thread class, implementing runnable interface. Those points are already completed. Up to now we discussed the first approach. What is the first approach? Extending thread class. Now I will start the second approach. What is the second approach? Tell me. Implementing runnable interface. Implementing runnable interface. Now the second approach to create a thread, implementing runnable interface. Clear? So now I will give the example regarding implement runnable interface. Can please check it. Next one is example number 15. Example number 15. Now implementing runnable interface. So in this approach, step number 1. What is the step number 1 here? Step number 1. Our normal Java class will become thread class my thread when we implement switch interface here, runnable interface. Our normal Java class will become thread class when we implement switch interface here, runnable interface. Step number 2. Obviously, so can please check runnable contains how many methods first of all? Runnable contains how many methods? To check the predefined methods, we are having one command. The command name is called what? java.lang.runnable. It contains, can please check it. How many methods are there? Only one method is there. What is the method name here? Run method. java.lang.runnable. Public interface java.lang.runnable. It contains how many methods? Only one method. What is the method name here? Run method is there, right? It contains only one method, that is run method. Override that run method. So here my thread, then tell me implement switch interface here, runnable interface, override that run method. How to override? Public void run method, open brace, closure brace, override the run method, write the logics of thread here. Then step number 3, instantiation, obviously. So instantiation means object creation. So how to create the object here? My thread t equal to what? New my thread of, after instantiation, then tell me after instantiation, start the thread by using start method. But to start a thread class required, I will discuss in first example. So next one is what? Start the thread. How to start the thread here? By using start method. These are the 4 steps, enough. Concentrate. Runnable interface contains how many methods? Only one method. What is the method name here? Run method. Override that method in the thread class to write the implementations. Clear? These are the steps to design the application. Let me write that application. Tell me, what is step number 1 here? Our normal Java class, so my runnable class, our normal Java class will become thread class when we implement switch interface here, runnable interface. Runnable interface contains how many methods? Generally, what is the approach here? How many methods are present in runnable interface? We must override all the methods in my runnable or not? Because that is interface behavior. Whenever we are implementing the interface, we must override all methods. We must override how many methods? All methods. But runnable contains how many methods here? Only one method. What is the method name here? A run method. Override that run method. So public void run method. So here let me print the data 10 times. So with the for loop here, I'm printing the for loop. For int I equal to 0. So here I less than 10. Let me print I plus plus. Now print the data system dot out to dot println of. Then tell me system dot out dot println of. This is my user thread. Obviously this is my user thread, right? Good. I thread is ready. To start the thread, we must depends on main thread, right? What is the main thread? Just I declared thread demo class. The main method syntax. What is the main method syntax here? Public static void main. Then I declared string array args. String array args. Open brace, close brace. Public static void main string array args. Now create the object of my runnable. Let me create the object my runnable. My runnable are equal to new my runnable of my runnable are equal to my runnable. To start the thread, we require the start method. I called start method. But in this case, a small problem is there. Can please try to identify the problem first. What is the problem, Ratan? I am creating object of my runnable. When I am creating object of what? My runnable. My runnable are equal to new my runnable of I called r dot start method. It's very important. Observe carefully. When I call r dot start method, first of all it will check the start method in which class? R class. R represents what? My runnable. Yeah, generally, what is the approach here? When I call r dot start, to start the thread, we must require the start method only. We must require what? Start method. Now tell me my runnable are equal to new my runnable of r dot start method I called. When I call the r dot start method, tell me, first it will check the start method in which class? My runnable. In my runnable any start method here? In my runnable any start method? No start method. Then it will check the parent. Who is the parent here? Runnable is the parent. Runnable contains any start method here? No start. Runnable contains how many methods? Only one method, that is run method. So observe carefully. This example problem is clear. When I call the r dot start method, first of all it will check the start method in which class? My runnable class. In the my runnable any start method? No start method. It will check the parent. Who is the parent here? Runnable is the parent. Runnable contains any start method here? No start. But to start the thread we require the start method obviously. By discussing first approach, I said one point. Whenever the thread class start is executed, your thread is registered into thread scheduler, then only decide your thread is created. But in this example, tell me, any thread is registered into thread scheduler? In the classroom, if the classroom contains having students, once I deliver the concept, I am able to feel whether they are able to understand or not. But in front of the video, I am giving everything, every point, right? Sometimes I am feeling whether the person is able to understand my concepts or not. The persons who are sitting in YouTube, if you are sitting in front of the screen, the persons are able to understand that concept or not. I am feeling like that because everything is a little bit theory is there, right? When I deliver the theory, internally myself is checking whether they are able to understand or not. But once you do the practicals, once you do the proper work, then you are able to understand each and every point. That's not a great thing. Good. So the problem is clear here. When I call the r dot start method, first of all it will check the start method in which class? My runnable. My runnable contains any start method? No. Which class start is executed here? Which class start is executed? My thread class start. It will my runnable doesn't contain start method. It will check the runnable start. Runnable contains any start method here? No start. Runnable contains how many methods? Only one method. But to start the thread, we require the start method. Generally, tell me, start method belongs to which class here? Thread class. Start method belongs to which class? Thread class. That is the reason in this example I will take the thread class help, predefined thread class help. In this example I will take the predefined thread class help. So to take the predefined thread class help, let me create the object of thread class. Let me create the object of thread class. Thread t equal to new thread of, I call t dot, method name is called what? Start. When I call the t dot start, thread class start is executed. Whenever the thread class start is executed, you know the two actions. Concentrate. First of all, try to understand this line. When I call that r dot start, there is no method in the my runnable, there is no method in the runnable. But start method belongs to thread class. That is the reason I taken predefined thread class help. I taken predefined thread class help. When I call the t dot start method, what happened here? Thread class start is executed. Whenever the thread class start is executed, we know thread class start method performs how many actions? Two actions. What are the two actions? Tell me. The thread class start method will register. Thread class start method will register your thread into thread scheduler. But tell me, in this case, I would like to register which thread into thread scheduler? Tell me. Which thread? My thread. My thread. What is my thread here? My runnable is my thread, right? When I call the t.start, it is trying to register your thread into thread scheduler. Which thread I would like to register into thread scheduler here? R thread, right? Can you please pass the R reference variable here? Then what happened here? Thread class start method will be executed. The thread class start method is trying to register which thread? R thread into thread scheduler. Then it calls the R thread run method. It's important. So 3 lines of code, but internal meaning is important. So generally everyone is writing 3 lines of code, but they don't know what is the process internal. Why they are passing R? So employees also generally they are saying, you have to pass R, then only output is printed. You have to pass that one, then if you have to pass that one, then only you get the output. Why we are passing? Not required, just you have to pass, then you will get the output, correct output. You want correct output, you want reasons. If you want both, concentrate. Now thread t equal new thread. It is trying to register the thread into thread scheduler. Which thread I would like to register in thread scheduler here? R thread I would like to register. Then complete a task. Then write the logics of main thread if you want. Int I equal to 0. Int I equal 0. I less than 10. Here I plus plus. This is my main thread, right? So system dot out dot. Tell me println of system dot out dot println of. System dot out dot println of. This is my what? Main thread. This is my main thread. Control S. Now can please. Now in this example also total how many threads are there? Total 2 threads. If the application contains more than 1 thread, then thread execution decided by thread scheduler. Expected output and expected output here. Unexpected. Main user is printed. Main user. Main user. Main user. Main user. Main user. Main user. This output is varied from system to system. Main user. Main user. Main user. Yeah, last one is output is changer, right? Check it. Main 3 times, then user. Once again main, right? Once again main is printed, user is printed. So output is valid or not? This is the second approach to create a thread in Java. Total how many approaches are there to create a thread in Java? 2 approaches. What is the first approach here? Extending thread class. Approach number 2 is the implementing runnable interface. Now I completed both approaches, right?